Hi everyone, Chrystal Kingstad with Continuous Technologies to go over the most recent release of Alteryx, which is 2021.2. So these are just a few different features that were just released that I'm personally excited about, but you might be excited about some different ones, so let us know what they might be. We are going to go over first the convert to macro feature that they just came out with. Why I'm excited about this one is it's going to cut back on your development time and sort of movement within Alteryx in general. That way you don't have to flip from your current workflow, which I have on my screen currently, into a new workflow to just create that macro to import in. So without further ado, I'm going to select just these first tools here, for example, and right click, and down to the bottom, we're going to convert to macro. Can change the icon. We'll just do this green hexagon right now. And it converts it into one tool on the current canvas. It does also open up the macro behind the scenes too on a separate workflow. So that way you can do modifications and whatnot as you're sort of developing, which again, that's also very nice. It just cuts back on tools that you have to drag and drop on the screen, which is sort of like the general theme that I'm sort of noticing from Alteryx as a whole. They're sort of cutting back on how many clicks you have to do, which personally I love. I know that some people might find it defeats how Alteryx is framing, but I personally love it. So that's our first example of a feature that I am excited about. Gonna open up that same workflow so that way I can show the second feature. That second feature is going to be with the results pane. So they've really been doing a lot of work with results pane. I know that within some of the recent releases, they came out with the filtering in the results pane, which took me a while to figure out they even had. Now they have added data cleansing capabilities into that results pane. So let's take a look off of this true side of our filter. Same place you'd go for that filtering capability in the results pane. You go to the ellipses, if I can click it, and there's the data cleanse option now. We offer some different capabilities here, so you can replace null data, remove unwanted characters, and you can even modify case. So for example, we'll just do upper for the modify case, just as an example of the functionality. And we can see under this data column, it has converted everything to uppercase. So this is the second one that I'm super excited about. I just see this as more capabilities of actionable data, really. You can take actions quicker than bringing on another tool and sort of having to click around. The third that I'm excited about is they actually broke out the installers. So one of my big gripes about sort of doing upgrades and updates to my designer is the time it took. Might sound sort of silly, but it just took more time for me to install it, and it took time away from development time for me. So I was fine with what it was doing, just let me develop, which isn't probably the best, and I'm aware of that. So now they actually broke out the intelligence tools suite off of the Alteryx designer. So if you have previously used those intelligence tools suite, you're gonna have to get both EXEs now, the designer and the intelligence tools suite. But for those who don't currently use those, your designer installations and even just getting the initial testing of Alteryx is gonna run a lot quicker than with those intelligence tools. So I love saving time. I love being able to get insights quicker and being able to just work on my development tasks and projects immediately, which again, not the best stance because we really should be updating our designers as we go. But I definitely understand those who maybe fall under that umbrella. Within that intelligence tools, one thing that I found very interesting that they just came out with in this release is their computer vision. So these are some new tools that I could see very powerful for maybe passing into Python or even just your image recognition as a whole. Why I say the Python one is because of this image input tool. you can actually start reading in your images. This does call for a separate license though, so I do want to note that, as you can sort of see here. But I find this super powerful because a lot of things are tending to go that direction with analytics now. Is that image recognition, that image analysis as a whole. So these are just a few things that I was excited about, but they have plenty, again, as always, plenty of features that they just added in, and they did a bunch of fixes as well, per usual. So thank you for tuning in for my favorite features. Maybe let us know what yours are. What was your favorite feature coming out as of maybe the last installation or for this current one? But thanks for tuning in, and tune in for the next one, which will be 2021.3.